starting to look like the Washington Commanders are starting to get Ashburn Syndrome, and that shit's starting to look crazy. Hold up, what is Ashburn Syndrome, you ask? Let me give you guys a definition of what Ashburn Syndrome is, man. Ashburn Syndrome is when you come into an organization that you really have no history or knowledge about. You don't really know the fans like that. But what happens is that you come to Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C. is a really obscure type of place. The reason why I say it's an obscure type of place is because you could come here for vacation, bruh. If you were out of town and you come to Washington, D.C., you come out to D.C., you can catch a flight to DCA, which everybody do. Don't nobody catch a flight to BWI and then drive to DC or catch the Uber to DC. That's only locals that do that. But you get your flight in DCA, hop on that train or you hop on that Uber or Lyft, you go straight to your hotel. You could be in DC for a whole week, do all activities, and not even touch the real DC while you in DC. Them couple blocks, them 30, 35 blocks from downtown to Georgetown, you could literally stay in that area for a whole week and not even see the real DC outside of that. Not even really see, all right, well, Navy Yard, they hyping up Navy Yard a whole lot. But ain't nothing really down there though. It's really just the downtown though. You could literally be downtown in Washington D.C. and not really see D.C. like that. I say that to say this. There's a lot of people that's not from D.C. coming into D.C. and making decisions for D.C. or D.C. politics or D.C. people or D.C. teams or whatever. The owner from the area, so that's cool. But you hire so Ashburn Syndrome is like when you start to think you know it all. Let's just keep it simple. Ashburn Syndrome is when you come into Ashburn, Virginia, which is where the Commanders practice at and where their headquarters is at. Ashburn, Virginia, which is yonders. Like, we on the East Coast. So anything 30 miles is a different country. Straight up. On the East Coast, anything 30 miles, bro, is vacation.
Damn.
So Ashburn is probably like from, and I'm on the Maryland side, from DC, from the center of DC to Ashburn is already like over 45 minutes.
Damn.
Now, I know in the grand scheme of things, 45 minutes is regular to the average folk, but on the East Coast, 45 minutes is out the way.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? 45 minutes is a planned and scheduled event.
Damn.
45 minutes ain't something that you just take lightly. You dig what I'm saying? So it's all the way out there, right? But Washington D.C. is the center, is the hub, is the actual city, the actual downtown area. And then you have Maryland, where in Landover, you have the stadium. So you got the stadium in Maryland, but it's called Washington, D.C. Commanders, but your headquarters out there in Northern Virginia, like Northern Virginia, Ashburn, Virginia. And ever since when, up there in Ashburn, Virginia, Ashburn Syndrome has been running wild through the entire campus.
Damn.
Now, I thought that it was gone. I thought it was gone once we got our new owner, Josh Harris, because he just seemed like a guy that wanted to perpetuate the bullshit or want to perpetuate, you know, being an authoritarian in a place where a lot of teamwork is needed, and that's a lot of men too. It's a lot of men, and it's a lot of teamwork that's required to make this shit move right. So, in my eyes, I'm feeling like Ashburn Syndrome is done. But lately, it's been looking like it's been creeping back.
Damn.
You know, any disease starts from somewhere.
Damn.
And Ashburn Syndrome is one that you really want to avoid, because once you come into an area, so this is also part of Ashburn Syndrome, right? So you get a guy that's not familiar with the area, but has come in to now be an authority figure, or basically a management role for an organization that I don't know if he really understands, but if he does, it's cool, right? But it's like when people come here to the Skins, it's like everybody come here and think they know it all already. And that's the biggest mistake you can ever make. Don't get me wrong, the fans out here are all front runners. Like, for the majority, we're a front runner town. Let's not get beside it. Do we throw our heart in it? Yeah. But we a front runner town, and partly because our teams don't deserve to be respected at that type of level where they can do no wrong. Nah, this is a town where we're going to call you on your wrong. You can't just walk around like shit sweet. You dig what I'm saying? So when we see shit going left, and we notify people, as in call into the radio stations and just talk about it and let people know, it's like the organization be feeling like, oh, they talking too much, or they don't know football. Yo, stop that shit, man. Football is not hard to understand. Football is not, man. Football, to be honest, it's all about angles and leverage. For the most part, it's all about angles and leverage. And every scheme, and every play, and every route, and every blitz is based off of angles and leverage. So I get tired when these NFL guys make it seem like football is so hard to understand. So when a fan talks shit, it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. He might not know what he's talking about, let's be honest, but he still might have a point. He might not articulate it, but he feel it, right? So I said it to say this. We already knew JD5 was going to start this week. I hope all that I said is not actually going on, because if upper management is power tripping, that's a problem. But I felt like they felt like they can keep JD5 out and have Marcus Mariota play those 2 games against his former teams, hype the morality of the team, and carry on to LA, where JD5 was definitely going to be ready. We were going to get him ready for LA. That's his hometown. I hope that was the issue. I hope that was the case, right? Now, if it was different, if it was, hey, JD5 was itching to play and he was letting it be known, I just hope that y'all taking his word, with weight on it, and just respecting his word, because every man need to be heard, and because Terry McLaurin is hurt, and I partially blame management for not getting the contract done. We know any man, bro, we're one of the oldest teams in the NFL right now. And y'all gonna play with, I don't care if he's 30. He's our best. He's the best we got. And he's the best that's available. He's the best we got. He's the best that's available. Pay him. Alter the contract, however you need to do it. But at this point, we have the quarterback we need, and we have the team around him. Pay him, and let's go. You let go of the running back, which was the dumbest, man, bro. I could go all day with this. Like, for real, like, I'm keeping it easy on you guys because I'm not here to, jump to nothing. But I'm here to check. We're gonna press the issue. If there's an issue, we're gonna press it and we're gonna iron it out. There's no reason in sugarcoating it. We're gonna go over it right now. So I can have a whole talk about the running back position, bro. Y'all disrespected Brian Robinson so bad that it's hard for me to respect y'all.
Damn.
Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, and the OC. I'm not saying his name.
Damn.
Y'all disrespected Brian Robinson so bad, I lost respect. I lost a little bit of respect for y'all.
Damn. Damn.
Y'all made it seem like Brian Robinson was the problem or Brian Robinson couldn't fit the scheme. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. How the hell is a man supposed to run the football when his offensive coordinator has no plan to run the football? His offensive coordinator has no scheme to run the football.
Damn.
His offensive coordinator never even schemes or features his back.
Damn.
How do you not feature a back?
Damn.
How do you not feature your lead tailback?
Damn.
And there's a whole bunch of people that like to talk about, the OC for the Commanders has had, his teams have done well in rushing. Well, that's coming from the quarterback.
Damn.
A lot of those rushes are coming from the quarterback.
Damn.
And not a lot from the running back. Because why? Because the offensive coordinator for the Commanders does not know how to create a... Wait, let me not even say that. Because with Marcus Mariota and against the Oakland Raiders, it was a great game plan. Why don't you do that every week? With Marcus Mariota and the Commanders against the Oakland Raiders, it looked like you were finally coaching. It looked like you finally had a scheme, a run scheme, or a plan to run the football. You think if Brian Robinson had that type of game plan, you think he would fail? Brian Robinson, and this is my thing, Dan Quinn really likes to talk about toughness and all that. How you talk about toughness, and this is part of Ashburn Syndrome, you start to renege on your morals and values. You also start to double talk. And we're not going to allow you to double talk. This camera's something serious. We catching action. Don't talk about being tough, but then let go of your toughest offensive player. Don't talk about being tough, Dan Quinn, and let go of one of your toughest offensive players, offensive weapons. And in my eyes, Brian Robinson is the perfect running back for this day and age. He's not the best. He's not the worst. He's somewhere in the lower middle or the middle, but he's very effective as far as his runs are bruising, bruh. Like, he's always running niggas over. I don't never see him get ran over. He's always moving forward. The pile always moves forward with Brian Robinson. Yes, he has to work it up sometimes, but football, what happened to running the football in football? Like, what happened? Like, bro, like, it's like JD5, Jaden Daniels be in the shotgun 75% of the game. Why can't these guys go on the center in the traditional sense? That's what helps your run game. that's why I appreciate the Shanahan offense, because the Shanahan offense, the stretch run, zone run, whatever, the West Coast, whatever, it requires that running back to get in the center because there's a lot of play action in this shit. It's a lot of, twitch. It's a lot of messing with your eyes, motions, and all that. What happened to quarterbacks getting in the center? And if your quarterback hardly gets on the center, how do you expect your running back to ever be successful? So y'all let go of Brian Robinson for reasons I don't agree with. Because there was a game against last year in the playoffs against the Detroit Lions. We won that game, yeah, and Brian Robinson had a great game. On the sideline, Zach Ertz says, "Yeah, that's the Brian I've been looking for." And Brian says, "Shit, you give me the opportunity, you gonna get that." But now, for my eyes, not only you need to give him the opportunity, you also need to allow him to perform. Have a plan to run the football. Scheme the run game. It's like these coaches don't coach until they need to. And that's crazy to me. Like, don't stop coaching. So y'all let go of Brian Robinson, which goes against the morals and values of Dan Quinn, which I don't understand. Y'all let go of one of our toughest players on offense, and now we got soft at running back. And that's again, did you all promise? Did y'all promise Austin Eckler anything? Like, bro, like, why are we showing so much respect to Austin Eckler? I think he's getting paid $10 million for Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson is the perfect guy because he's not the best, he's not the worst, he's around the middle. So you could give him a solid contract, a respectable contract at that, because he is reliable and he fits the scheme. No, well, he doesn't fit the scheme, but he fits your morals and values. He fits your culture. If anything, Brian Robinson fits the Dan Quinn culture. So why get rid of a guy who fits the culture? Because of your offensive coordinator? You gonna tell me the offensive coordinator of the Commanders has a problem scheming up his starting running back, and because the numbers or the performance doesn't seem to be up to their par, they want to get rid of him? I don't blame Brian Robinson for being upset.